Yeah, in the earliest days of King's X, I was using the Strat Elite as my main guitar, but I was also working with Hamer at the time and Yamaha, just the greatest people at both of those places that we were working with. Actually trying to find something that sounded a lot like the Elites but didn't have all the noise. That was the original goal. Played a lot of different Yamahas and Hamers, some Zions for a while, had some really nice Zions, and it was the closest to copying the Elite without and with getting rid of the noise, which it did. I've been using Yamahas mostly for the last several years. They came out with an AES series, which is kind of like a Les Paul. They sent me one that was just, actually when I played it, I was stunned at how it sounded. It just was phenomenal sounding through my same gear without changing anything. I just plugged in and played. And so they took care of me for years. I ran across John Guilford guitars a couple years back. It was just such a fine guitar, you have to take notice and you have to go, wow, there's something really special about this thing. So John built me some of the finest guitars I own, without a doubt. I'm using them almost exclusively lately. Live, I have been using them exclusively, and in the studio probably 99% of the time. One thing also really cool that happened at the same time I started playing these Guilford guitars is that Seymour Duncan came out with a pickup called the P-Rail. It's one of the best ideas for a pickup that's ever happened as far as I'm concerned. It's like having 3 separate guitars now on one guitar, and you don't have to switch guitars. It has a toggle switch, so it's real simple. In one toggle position, you've got P90s in your guitar, basically. So you've got old Les Paul tones and stuff that are classic and have that attack that you can't get without a P90. Just awesome pickup sound. Flip it in the middle toggle position and you've got full-blown wide open humbuckers. And flip it in the front position and you've got a stinking Strat. You've got real sounding single coils. I've never had a guitar or pickup do that before, so the combination of these John Guilford custom guitars that are so fine it's insane, and these Seymour Duncan pickups that let me go between different eras of King's X and different tones without ever switching a guitar. Even in the same song, I can go to a different tone on chorus or whatever. It just opened up a different world. It's the most useful guitar I've had in a long time. The way that I started using Egnater amps and even became familiar with Egnater amps was through Randall. At one point I started using Randall amps when they came out with their modular amps. Bruce Egnater was the person who helped design that whole thing for Randall. Totally love the Egnater stuff, and it's still my main amp, main tone for everything. Recently, as part of my rig, I added the Fractal Audio Ultra as, at first I used it strictly as my effects because it's an amp modeler that has an effects section that is tremendous. Some really high-end, good, clean, amazing effects. And the routing capabilities are just phenomenal in that thing. It's insane how powerful it is. And so it impressed me heavily. And so I added that as my effects part of my rig in the last year and a half or so. And the entire Trip Magnet album, the entire thing, 100% of guitar tones on that album are done with the Fractal Audio through its amp modeling. That Fractal is amazing, and the tones in it are amazing. I started Alien Beans when I finally realized that because of the cycle of things with King's X, you have to wait a certain amount of time to put another album out in order to give the full cycle of touring and promotion and things that happen, to give it that full cycle so that it grows and sells during a period of a few months. And that's the way things worked. So we had to take time off. Hence the motorcycle racing and stuff. You know, I had lots of time to do stuff in between albums. During that time, I just started thinking, you know, it would be cool to do some solo stuff or side stuff, and it wasn't like I felt unhappy with King's X at all. It wasn't that kind of thing in any way. I was thrilled to be, I love doing studio stuff. I just bought some recording gear, didn't know what I was doing, and just started, really learning anytime we were in the studio doing things, picking the brains of people like Brendan O'Brien and whoever we're working with. And so that's how the studio started. It was just meant to be a way for me to do my own thing whenever I wanted and no pressure. It just started becoming something where other people wanted to record and other things started happening, and I started doing lots of other projects and stuff because I had this gear to work with, and it wouldn't be a matter of 100 grand in the studio, for a few weeks. And I could just do it on whenever I wanted, and so it just opened up doors all of a sudden. And so I have been slowly but surely upgrading, it's a constant upgrade, it's a constant keeping up with what's out there. And I really love that. I enjoy that. I'm a tech freak anyway. The studio became my second job. It is the single thing I love most about being in a band is recording. The studio is my favorite thing, period, hands down. I love recording. I just decided to give myself a situation where I could do more of that because it's what I love. Being that we're in Houston, Texas, which is the land of the sun, it's plenty of sunshine and being really close to the coast so that there's a bit of a breeze too. I started thinking, wind power and solar power might be something that actually could pay off in this location. And at this point, Alien Beans, right at this moment, is 100% green with its power now. It hasn't always been, but as of this moment, it's 100% green. I have solar panels and wind power that supplement power into the house. And so I still draw some power from the city, but the power I'm drawing from the city is from 100% wind power. Because the sun's shining right now, it's powering these lights and what we're doing here right now. And I dig that, knowing that there's not any pollution whatsoever from running this place. It makes me feel good about it. Unfortunately, Alien Beans right now is in the process of moving. So the large majority of everything is already packed. All I have here right now are the bare essentials for doing some vocals and mixing and mastering. So this is the smallest the operation has been in many, many years. I'm actually getting into it. It makes me want to scale everything down now. I'm digging that it's this condensed and that I can still do the work.